Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. This is Calvin Dean. We are going to go over a bunch of stuff, so let's just dive right in. Thank you, Mixed Cocktail Hour, so much. You guys are the best. We always have a drink of the week. First was do some news. Carson Wentz, yes, Carson Wentz of the Commanders got released. They're releasing around $26 million in salary cap for that. Wow. Carson Wentz is gone. And, there's a few things that are going in right now in the combine. Actually, Derek Carr is going to the combine. He's not trying out, but he's just going to be interviewing with a few teams, the Jets, the Saints, Carolina, the Saints, and the Jets. And I think that would be a great fit for any one of those teams with Derek Carr. I think the Jets would be a better fit for him. But who knows with Aaron Rodgers? He just came out of this sabbatical of 4 days. Oh, just a retreat. Oh, I need to think. Oh, my God. He's... he's so dramatic. Aaron Rodgers fans, I love you guys, but come on. The guy is just so dramatic and such a PETA. Wow. Now I asked Calvin Dean, do you care where he goes? Not at all. I don't have any allegiance to any team, so I don't really give a shit. But anyway, that's been going on. The Kyler Murray thing, they're saying most likely he'll be out a little bit more than half the season. I predicted that. I thought he wouldn't even be in this season. That's another thing they're going to have. All right, 7 teams that are in this category. Number 1 team is the New England Patriots. We have the Baltimore Ravens. We have the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. We have the Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Los Angeles Rams. With the Rams, we'll start with the Rams first. James Nelson, my buddy James Nelson, won a T-shirt, a Rams T-shirt. He is a Rams fan. He won a Super Bowl T-shirt. James, that will be going out today from the Calvin Dean Show. Just wanted to let you know on that. Thank you so much. And I got another little present for you, big guy. Another little present. So I'm not telling you until you receive it, but it's coming right from the NFL, buddy. Right from the NFL. And the Rams. Well, because the Rams went all in. They won a Super Bowl. Hey, all these teams, some of these teams have just died to go into the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl when they stack a team like this, right? And they did. Now they're getting a little older. They don't have any picks in the NFL draft, so they can't really go there, right? And then, so it's going to be, will they restructure Matthew Stafford's contract? Will they release? Of course they're not going to. Why would they release him? But who knows? You don't know. Jalen Ramsey, are they going to try to trade him to another team? What about Aaron Donald? But I don't think, the way the Rams are, they're so stubborn. They'll just keep, this is my prediction, they're just going to keep the players that they have, and they're going to try to get some free agents, and they'll end up maybe 9-8 or 8-9 or something like that. And then Donald will retire, and Jalen Ramsey probably will retire or go to another team or whatever. The Rams just disappoint me in that respect. In the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is one of them. What the heck? Seriously, where are they going? You got Brady gone. Everyone's really older in their 30s, right? And what are they going to do? Quarterback-wise, what are they going to do? you know, there's so many question marks with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Hey, they went all in 2020 and they won a Super Bowl. The next year, heck, what? Brady threw over 5,200 yards. You know, they made it and then they didn't make it back to the Super Bowl. So, and they're retiring this year. So, you know, that's another team we're going to have to dive into. But they did a lot of trading down and trading their draft picks to get certain players. Like, where's Pierre Paul? He's gone. Ndamukong Suh was on the Philadelphia Eagles for the Super Bowl run. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about. Fournette. I mean, what happened to their running game? Rojo's gone. Went to the Kansas City Chiefs, won the championship. And then you have Fournette, you have Evans, you have Godwin. A lot of the players are just on their way out. I mean, their running game looked terrible last year, terrible. They couldn't run. It was their offensive line, so they have Tristan Wirth. I mean, I feel sorry for Tristan Wirth. I mean, when will the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever get back to where they were in 2020? You know, what, every 10, 20 years? That's the only bad thing about loading up on a team like the Rams did and the Tampa Bay Bucks did. It takes a while for those teams to even come back, you know, and start, you know, loading up with new young blood talent, you know. It's always good to have some veterans, mind you. It is always good to have that. But the young blood talent, you know, is all about that. The Bucks are in trouble. The Bucks are in trouble. The Saints, there's a lot of guys who are under contract there, and they need to juggle it. How are they going to keep that defense? You know, and Kamara, all the trouble. I don't think he's going to be back, you know, with all the trouble he did when he was at the Pro Bowl, not last year, but the year before, and he got implicated on some type of battery of this other individual. I know nothing about it. Like I said, he was implicated, so there's no guilt or anything else going on there. But going back to the Saints, you know, they have a lot of people they need to re-sign, and you have these salary cap issues, you know, that they're going to have to deal with, you know. We have the Green Bay Packers part of this. What the heck? What's going to go on? Is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? I mean, if he does come back, how are they going to play? You know, what are they going to do? You know, I mean, in all reality, Rodgers' contract is so high, you really can't fit too many characters in there. And the Green Bay Packers are always that team. They're that mentality they build within, you know, they draft and they build the players and then players stay, you know. So, I mean, that whole Aaron Rodgers thing is a mess. I don't really want to talk about it. I don't think he's worth talking about. I really don't. I mean, he could go here, he could go there. I don't care. You really don't. I don't care. I think the guy is just he's a drama queen. And he pretends that he doesn't like the drama. He pretends he doesn't like it. But he is. He's all about the drama. The next team, the Tennessee Titans. Wow, Tennessee Titans, man. I mean, where are they going? Tannehill? I mean, is that up? I mean, and his backup, wow. What a bust that is. You know, they're in trouble. And guess what? Derrick Henry hates artificial turf. Just hates it. And guess what the Tennessee Titans are doing? They're putting turf in their field. So what does that tell you? I don't know about the Titans, man. It's all about the Derrick Henry thing. I mean, if you're a GM, you know, I mean, it's time to, you know, move up. I mean, you made it one year to it was in 2020, right? And they were AFC champions, right? Or was it 2021? They were AFC champions in 21. That whole offense is so mundane. It's all about Derrick Henry. Push the ball. And if they get down, and if their defense allows the other team to score a lot, and then they have Tannehill trying to come back with what type of receivers? They got rid of A.J. Brown. I mean, what were they thinking? I just don't get that. What were the Tennessee Titans thinking? And now they have artificial turf, and Henry doesn't like that, so that whole Derrick Henry thing, yeah, the guy's a beast, but you only can do so much. You only can pound the rock so much, and it's not like that. The NFL's not like that anymore. It's just, Malik Willis, what a bust that is. Guy, he drops back, and that's all he wants to do is run. And then let's talk about Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens, right? The Baltimore Ravens. My nephew, they live in Baltimore and they live in Florida. They live all over the place. But they're Baltimore Raven fans. Love the Ravens. But what about what they're doing to Lamar Jackson, guys? I mean, what the hell are they doing to Lamar Jackson? I mean, obviously, I think by them not trying to sign him and not give him a contract, that's what they're doing. The writing is on the wall. What are they going to do? Franchise tag the guy? Well, there's a compete and non-compete franchise tag. So if they do a non-compete franchise tag, that's around $44-45 million. Are they going to go that route? Or are they going to franchise tag him with a compete? Now, they compete, they can get 2 first-round picks. They have to, and because he was a first rounder, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And then, what team will take him? And the Ravens, they built that whole offense around Lamar Jackson. So what will they do if he leaves, if he goes? And if I was Lamar Jackson, I'd be searching for another team. I mean, obviously that team doesn't want to pay you, right? Obviously, they don't, and the writing is on the wall. But on the other hand, guys, listen to me. Josh Allen, listen up. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, listen, and even Patrick Mahomes, listen up. Look at Lamar Jackson the last 2 years. Look at him. Hurt last 2 years. Near the end of the season, gets hurt. And that's from running quarterbacks. It's just, guys, you have to really rely more on the pass. And Josh, stop jumping over people. If you want to last in this whole entire NFL, which is a wicked sport, it is so dangerous. I mean, you can't just play like that and expect to play all these years. You just can't. Last team. And that's New England Patriots. A few years ago, they went all in on free agency. They spent like $160 million on free agency. And man, where are they at? Zappy or Jones? Zappy or Jones? I don't see the difference between the two. Who's better? I just don't. I don't see they're adequate quarterbacks. I mean, Jones came from an Alabama team that was just stacked of talent, and he would be good at a San Francisco 49er team. He'd be very good. I think the Niners missed out on that one. He'd be perfect for their system. But with Bill Belichick, I think your dynasty's done, and I don't think you guys are going to be coming back to. I mean, you'll play. Don't get me wrong. You'll play hard and all that good stuff, but I don't think it's going to happen. The only thing that's going to happen, the New England Patriots are in trouble, guys. They're in trouble. So I think there's a few teams that are rebuilding, right? The rebuilding. I think the Cardinals are going to be rebuilding. I think the Colts are going to be rebuilding. Chicago definitely rebuilding. They got the number 1 pick, right? And Houston Texans. I think Houston Texans been rebuilding since I've known them. And then the Atlanta Falcons, of course, rebuilding. We have the Panthers are going to be rebuilding. you don't want to say this, but I think the Raiders are rebuilding. I mean, they got rid of their number one quarterback, so of course they're rebuilding. And then the Washington Commanders as well. They got rid of Carson Wentz. So, I mean, the Cardinals, we all know about that. Kyler Murray getting hurt near the end of the season. Who the heck? I mean, the Cardinals are praying he might do well. I mean, I think they should get rid of D-Hop and send him elsewhere, and just to get some more draft capital and really work on the draft capital and getting some great teams. Look what the Giants did. Look at think about it. Draft capital. Look what the Detroit Lions did. Draft capital. And these teams, there's some really good players coming out of the draft, and they're fast, they're bigger, they're better, and they just have to mold them into what they want them to do for that team, and the Cardinals are just, I don't know, maybe I'm not even predicting what they'll be like next year. Maybe they'll win 3-4 games. Who knows? But they're rebuilding. Of course, the Colts are rebuilding. Who is their quarterback? Who knows? Jonathan Taylor, been hurt. Who knows what's going on there? Their defense, their coach, the whole system is on a rebuild. And that's just a team where you don't know, and I feel sorry for Indianapolis fans. Especially all these teams that I just mentioned when they're rebuilding. When it's rebuilding, it's tough to be a fan. But in Chicago, what will they do? They have the number one pick. They already have their quarterback. So I in the pipeline, everyone's been talking about them trading up and getting some more draft capital so they can actually really draft a really, really good team. Sort of like the Giants did last year, They had a great draft. And then, they have to shore up that offensive line, the Chicago Bears, with Justin Fields, and then they have to get some wideouts for him to throw to, because the guy just runs for his life, and then he runs all the time, and he's going to get hurt by doing that. And you just can't rely on a running quarterback. You just can't. And with the Houston Texans, like I said, it's just, wow, man. I'm sorry, Houston. There's a lot of Houston Texan fans that, there are some Houston Texan fans that admit that they are Houston Texan fans. God bless you, man, on that one. God bless you on that one. Yeah, they're just all over the place. The Atlanta Falcons, where are they going? Of course, Mariota won't be back, right? He just left camp and said, screw you guys. And, they have a few things that are going on. The Atlanta Falcons, I don't know about them. They haven't been right since they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the New England Patriots on a last quarter blitz by the New England Patriots, and they come back and they win. And what a bummer that was for the Atlanta Falcons, right? And just too bad. With the other team rebuilding, we got the Panthers. The Panthers are rebuilding. Well, the Panthers are pretty good, guys. Panthers are pretty good with a defense. They're going to need a quarterback, of course. I mean, that whole Donald and Baker Mayfield, and where were they? They went through so many different quarterbacks, and it wasn't because they were hurt. It was because they weren't performing. And they have the new coach, so they're going to be rebuilding. Hopefully they'll get a quarterback. Like I said, Derek Carr is interviewing the Panthers, the Saints, and the New York Jets. We have the Raiders. Of course, I think it's rebuilding in the sense that you get rid of a quarterback. What are you going to do? Who are you going to get? You have the number one receiver, Devontae Adams. And you have the number one running back. And, you have a good defense. I mean, you really do. Crosby's really good. Defensive end, and they just need to shore up their defense as well. But I think they're rebuilding. Of course, you have to say they're rebuilding because of the quarterback issue, right? But get that quarterback. They don't need to rebuild that much. You know what I mean? They just don't. They're on the cusp, And then you have the Washington Commanders. Heineke, they're releasing him. They released Carson Wentz. Well, Heineke's up for free agency, right? So they don't have a quarterback. They don't have an owner. They don't have anybody. So anyway, it's just they're a mess. The Commanders are a mess. They have a great defense, and hopefully their defense will come back and all their the players that they got, and they really mold the defense really well. But they need that offense. McCarron, Gibson. I mean, they have a good team. Trust me, they do. They just need that quarterback, and they need a few more pieces. But like I said, I think they're rebuilding. Before the next category I go into, we always have the drink of the week. Yes. Mixed Cocktail Hour, Tammy Harrison, Scott Cushman, and Dean Blagg. Give it up. Drink of the week to Mixed Cocktail Hour. Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're making the paper plane.
I fly a lot of paper, get high a lot of planes. If you catch me at the border, I'll drop visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get mixed up, I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name.
Cheers.
Man, gotta love those guys. I love you guys. Tammy, you are so amazing. Great host. Scott Cushman, man, the way you just come up with these drinks, I mean, you are the guru. Drinkology? And Dean just sits back there and drinks whatever they're making all the time. So he's... But anyway, love you guys. Love you guys. Tammy, Scott, great. Dean Blagg, love you. And, man, Mixed Cocktail Hour. Watch them. Look at my link below. Go to their page. Subscribe. You're going to find some really, really great mixed cocktails and everything else. I love it. And this show, too. Subscribe. Turn your notifications on. And comment, and you win stuff like James Nelson did with the Super Bowl winning shirt for his favorite Los Angeles Ram team. Okay, last category I'm going to pick. I think there's five teams. We're going to keep this short, this show. 5 teams that I think that are just one player away. 5 teams. These teams are. I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins is one. They're one player away. I think it's a defensive player. I mean, I don't know what Miami Dolphins are going to be doing. I mean, will Tua stay on the field? That was a big thing with Tua. Guys, I mean, you have a quarterback. He's cheap right now. He's cheap. So they can go with him because he's cheap. And when he was playing, they looked like a Super Bowl contending team. They just did. They were awesome. But that's when he's playing, right? And then I think they're one player away. They have the offense. Bar none, they have the offense. It's the defense. The defense, they have to hold the other team. I think maybe a rusher, edge rusher, they're one player away. All these teams are, I think, there's one player away teams. You have San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they're going to go with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. Jimmy G still up in the air. We don't know what's going on with him. I think they're a quarterback away. They have a great offense. They have a great defense. Like I said, they have one player away. Maybe, that defense is so good, and like I said, they're one player away. It's all about the quarterback with that team. Maybe an additional wideout, a flyer, that could do. But we'll go into that. But they are one player away. I think the Minnesota Vikings are one player away. I really do. I think they're one player away. Kirk Cousins is coming back. You have Dalvin Cook. You have one of the greatest wideouts in the league, Jefferson. You have Thielen. Thielen's getting his age in the tooth, but you have Hawkinson, which is the tight end they got from the Detroit Lions. Defense, guys. Defense, that's what they need. They need to have defense, and that's what the Minnesota Vikings, they're this way far away. I think there's a couple people, not just one player. I think they're two defensive players away. I think if they can go out, find really like maybe Jalen Ramsey, wouldn't that be great? And then get in the draft another defensive player. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I think they're one player away like that, like Jalen Ramsey. That would be a great fit. The Bengals are just almost there. Almost there. They were almost there, bad, terrible calls in the championship game, but they're almost there, guys. Almost there. And I think they're one or two players away. One player away, at least. Defense, I think their defense, is just so good. They're always, in the second half, that defense always comes alive. They're well coached, and I think, their offenses. They have Boyd, they have Jamar Chase, they have Higgins, they got the great running back, Tana, Mixon, and but Hurst, the tight end. And they're definitely are a contender team, and they're just that one increment, just one person away, maybe an offensive lineman. I would say, I would say a big old offensive lineman. So, just to shore up that offensive line for Mr. Burrows, Mr. Joe Burrow, which is. He's just top 5 quarterback, easy. Top 2, top 3. Anyway, we have the last one, I think, who's one player away, of course, is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I don't know how many people they're going to be able to keep. We have to understand it's salary cap. They have to sign Jalen Hurts because he was picked in the second round. He doesn't get a fifth-year option when you're a second rounder, okay? So they have to sign him this year. They have to sign him. This is going to be his 4th year. And they're going to have to sign him. He's definitely a franchise quarterback. Top 5 at least. Now, there's a lot of players on Philly that are up for contract. How will they go about it? Will they restructure some of the contracts to try to keep everyone in there? It's going to be a tough thing to do for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think they're a couple players away, a player away. I really do. Their offense is just great. The Goddard, A.J. Brown, Smith, all 3 running backs, just amazing. And Jalen Hurts, Sanders, Boston, Gainesville. I mean, those guys are just great. Goddard, of course. But when it comes to, Jason Kelce, he is a phenomenal center. I mean, how long will Jason be going for? He's 33, So you don't know. You don't know. So they might have to shore up the defensive line because that was their weakness, stopping the run. So that's another thing they're going to have to work on, and special teams as well. I think that the Miami Dolphins, the San Francisco 49ers, the Minnesota Vikings, the Bengals, and the Eagles should go all in. That's the category that they should be doing. They should go all in on because they are just ready. I mean, and San Francisco's getting a little bit long in the tooth with some of their players. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings, the same thing. And I think that the Miami Dolphins are ready, and I think the Bengals are ready. And, of course, the Eagles were ready. They made it to the Super Bowl. But I think that team should go all in. Anyway, give it up for Mixed Cocktail Hour. Thank you so much for Woodford Reserve. Thank you. Boy, I like this, don't you? All right, man. Give it up to Mixed Cocktail Hour.
3.
Welcome.
Yeah, where's Tammy?
I love those guys. Love it. Guys, thank you for tuning into my show.